Welcome to my book reading podcast. I'm Brother Harold, and I will be your host. This is a podcast where I read inserts from many different books, a conversation that makes us all think about life. So sit back, relax, make yourself at home. I will do the reading. All you have to do is listen. The book is called Grace Revolution, Experiencing the Power to Live Above Defeat by Joseph Prince, an international best-selling author and pastor. A brief introduction. The Grace Revolution is all about bringing Jesus back to the forefront. For too long, the Christian faith has been reduced to a list of do's and don'ts. That's not why Jesus came. That's not what Christianity is all about. Jesus did not come to point out our fault. Truthfully, many of us know what our faults are, or if not, our spouses do a pretty good job highlighting them for us. Jesus came that we might have life and have it more abundantly. He came to save, to redeem, and to reconcile us to God, so that whoever believes in him, Jesus that is, should not perish but have everlasting life. That's John 3:16. This is what this Grace Revolution is all about. It's all about your life touched, changed, and transformed from the inside out. It's all about living a victorious life, a life that wins, a life that regains triumph over failure and frustration. When you encounter the person of grace, and when the veil of Christianity religion is removed, there is nothing to turn back to. You will begin to step away from defeat and take a mass leap towards your victory. Chapter 1. Let the revolution begin. The Grace Revolution begins with Jesus. It is not a movement, teaching, or subject to be studied. It is all about a person. What you believe about this person makes all the difference. I'm sure you have read about Jesus and are familiar with his name. You may even have attended Sunday school as a child and heard all the biblical stories about him. The question is, do you know Jesus personally? Is he a historic figure or a prominent Jewish rabbi or simply the son of a Galilean carpenter? Who is he to you? Is he just another teacher or is he your Savior? Whatever adversity, challenges, or circumstances you may face today, your answer is found in the person of Jesus. Today, a grace revolution is sweeping all across the globe because the person of Jesus is boldly preached and proclaimed and lifted up. In taking this journey to understand the grace of God, it is essential that you understand the difference between the Old Testament law and the new covenant of grace. To help accelerate your understanding of law and grace, I want to share with you many favorite scriptures. I have preached this verse around the world, from Hillsong Conference to Sydney, Australia, and Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas. For the law was given through Moses, but grace and truth came through Jesus Christ. John 1:17. The law was given through a servant. Grace came and truth came through the Son. The law talks about what man ought to be. Grace reveals what God is. In the first miracle of Moses, he turned water into blood, resulting in death. In the first miracle of Jesus, he turned water into wine, resulting into life and celebration. The letter kills, but the Spirit gives life. 2 Corinthians, that's 3:6. Chapter 3:6. Under the law, God demands righteousness from a simple bankrupt man. But under grace, it is God that provides righteousness as a gift. Now, which covenant would you like to be under? The answer is obvious. Under grace, God provides righteousness as a gift. Now, with that, let's take a small commercial break.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?
Get whatever you want, baby.
Let's just share a 20-piece.
20 McNuggets for only $4.99? Oh, man, she's beautiful, smart, and sensible. Jackpot!
Anything else?
Get next to McDonald's crispy, juicy chicken McNuggets, so you get the taste you love at a price you'll love even more.
Guess who's going to the game?
Thank you. There's always more to love at McDonald's.
And I am back. The truth is, picking up where we left off, the truth is through the cross of Calvary, all who believe in Jesus and acknowledge him as their Lord and Savior are under the new covenant of grace. Yet, today, many believers are still in confusion and get law and grace all mixed up by holding on to some of the aspects of the law and some of the aspects of grace in their Christian walk. Jesus said, you cannot put new wine into old wineskins. The new wine will fervent and break through the wineskins, and you will lose both. That's in Matthew chapter 9, verses 17. In the same way, you cannot put new wine into grace and old wine into wineskins of the law. Into the wineskins of the law. One will cancel out the other. That's Romans 11, chapter 11, verse 6. Under the law, God said, I will by no means clear the guilt, but I will visit their sins to the third and fourth generation. That's Exodus chapter 34, verse 7. But under grace, God says, I will be merciful to the unrighteousness and to the unrighteous, and their sins and lawlessness deeds I will remember no more. That's Hebrews chapter 8, verse 11. There has been a change. Can you see with absolutely high clarity definition? Can you see this? There has been a change, a radical change, and it's all because of Jesus. Yet there are many that are still preaching the law. They are still preaching that if you obey God, God will bless you. If you disobey God, he will curse you. Now, that sounds right, but it is a dangerous teaching because it nullifies the finished work of Jesus. The law is man's way, and it says, you shall have no other God before me. You shall not make yourself carving images. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. That's Exodus chapter 3, verses 4 through 7. God's grace says that I will put my law in their minds and write on their heart and write the law on their hearts. And I will be their gods, and they shall be my people. I will be merciful to the unrighteous, and their sins and their lawlessness deeds I will remember no more. That's Hebrews chapter 8, verses 12. The law is man-centered, where grace is Jesus-centered. The law focuses on what we must accomplish. Grace focuses entirely on what Jesus has accomplished and what he has done on the cross. Under the law, you are disqualified by disobedience. Under grace, you are qualified by Jesus' obedience. Under the law, you are made righteous when you do right. Under grace, you are made righteous when you believe right. Now, with that, let's take a look at a chart where we can see the difference between the law and grace. The law was given through Moses, a servant of God. Then came grace, came through Jesus Christ, the Son of God. The law, it reveals what man ought to be, but grace, it reveals who God is. The law, it results in miracles of death, but grace, it results in miracles of life. The law is the letter that kills, but grace is the spirit that gives life. The law, it demands righteousness from sinful, bankrupt man, but grace, it provides a gift from God to man. The law, it sins, remember, and it's punished by God. But through grace, sin of forgiveness and remembered no more by God. The law, it disperses blessings and curses, but through grace, it disperses only blessings. The law is man-centered, what you must do for God. But through grace, God, Jesus Christ, what he would do for you and what he has already done. It's the law, you are disqualified by your disobedience. But through grace, you are qualified by Jesus' obedience. So through the law, you are justified by your works. But through grace, you are justified by your faith. So, brothers and sisters, that is the conclusion of this podcast or this episode. Until next time, until the next book reading, I will be your host. I'm Brother Harold. Until next time, I say shalom, and I will always leave you with a quote of wisdom.
Create a life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good on the outside. If you want to feel truly rich, look around you and count all of the things you have that money can't buy. If you can breathe, you can smile. So flood your mind with positive thoughts, because happiness is the most sought after currency on earth.